My name is Dorothea Taylor. I love the Dora Milaje, these great female warriors, and the fact that they actually existed in real life in Africa. There was so much dignity and strength and just pride in all of these characters. I want people to feel the soul and the spirit of the movie.
Hi, my name is Nigeria Chambers of Big Gold Belt Media. Dorothea Taylor, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Very exciting opportunity today to talk to you about the release of the Black Panther Wakanda Forever Steelbook, which is coming to Best Buy February 7th. You being behind bringing what I feel is one of the most beautiful steelbooks I've ever seen. When I seen it released, I was smashing the keyboard. I had to get me a copy, and look what God blessed me with. One of the first people in the world to have a copy of this, and it's fantastic. I have a lot of questions. I do want to say, as a steelbook collector, it's an absolute pleasure to talk to someone bringing the craze, the reason why I still want to get physical copies. And as much as I want to congratulate you, because I know you can't wait to see this on shelves, it's not going to happen. Folks are going to get these before it even touches it. It's just going to be that good. But talking about this and looking at this now, having this in hand here, I would love to know, when you received that call and this opportunity, the thoughts that was going through your head. I watched the trailer, so understanding your purpose behind it, but like, what was sort of your own personal emotions when you had this opportunity to what I again feel was one of the most beautiful steelbooks I've ever seen?
Well, thank you. That means a lot. When I got the call, I was kind of taken back, because I mean, like, Black Panther means so much. The franchise itself means so much to me. I mean, it's like the first opportunity to see Black people filmed in such this positive light, with positive figures, the characters, and it really resonated with me. And I think it resonated like universally. So, I was really taken aback. It was a thing I put on my wish list of things I wanted to do about a year ago. And for it to come to light, it was just like this blessing I just couldn't believe.
It looks amazing. I'm a collector, so I typically don't do this, but I have you here, so I'm obviously have to do this. I want to open this and I want to get really close and personal with it, because the way how the design and everything comes off the script, off of it, just it feels almost 3D yet 4D. Could you talk about the process and like really, elevating these characters to a way that we feel it. We feel sort of like the motivation behind you with it. We feel these characters and everything they've been through. I mean, looking at Angela Bassett here, you instantly think about her performance here. But how were you able to like create shall I say, a scene out of the film on this steelbook?
Yeah, the characters were really important, and that's what I really wanted to showcase. And I wanted to. I mean, this movie is steeped with so many emotions, like grief and strength and just rising to the occasion. So I really wanted to kind of try to translate that the best I could into like a 2D image. So I did lots of sketches, a lot of explorations to finally come up with a layout. And it was something actually that worked hand in hand with the steelbook created by Orlando Arocena. He also features like a large portrait of the leader of the Tolucan Nation. So a lot of that thought process when it was in my head when I was creating this.
Yeah, it's like it's so much raw emotions looking at it, and again, hearing you speak about it in the trailer for this, and you had a lot of words, a lot of the same words I use upon reviewing the film, where you talked about dignity and the strength of pride, and acknowledging that these great warriors were actually real people that existed. And beyond me just being in tears the first two times I watched it, you actually went out and produced, again, what I feel one of the most beautiful steelbooks I've seen. Another question I want to ask you too, when you talk about other words you use, soul and pride here, what was sort of that feeling on the opposite end after you had completed it? How were you kind of feeling and processing then?
It was it was like an arduous process. So, for one thing, when I got to the end of it, I took a breath and was like, okay, we made it. It's done. It's going to be produced. So it was like this feeling of relief, but also, you know, a lot of times when you work on something like that, it's kind of like a letdown, like, oh, it's done. But then now, you know, it's like, and now that I'm waiting for it to be on shelves and to actually see it, something I created like in Best Buys, I think it's going to be really cool. So yeah, it was just a lot of different emotions for me. You know, I've done other projects that have been seen nationally, but not something that's so close to my heart, you know, that meant so much to me, you know, so there's a lot of pride for myself.
Absolutely. You know what? Thank you so much for your time today. And then again, thank you so much for your design and your work and to bring in just additional content into which is again one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite franchises. And now being able to own is one of the first people in the world to have this beautiful design. And for the folks who may want an opportunity to get this February 7th, good luck. Because I don't see this sitting on shelves long. So
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dorothea Taylor. And I hope you have a good rest of your day.
You too.